All idea of my thinking is divided into pairs of opposite unbalanced conditions. Male sex and female are opposite unbalanced conditions of the one ideal of man. These two opposed conditions void each other by finding rest from motion in each other. Opposite unbalanced conditions are as a lever in motion, swinging from its still fulcrum. In the fulcrum is the one unchanging condition of balance, from which the two changing, unbalanced conditions extend. So long as the lever swingeth in motion, its two opposites are unbalanced. When the swinging of the lever ceaseth, the lever is balanced in the stillness of its fulcrum. Anger and kindness, and patience and impatience, are pairs of opposite unbalanced emotions, divided as pairs of one ideal, which affecteth the pattern of man's body for good or ill. Good and bad, love and hate, and other pairs of opposed emotions, appeareth as man beginneth to know me in him. The ideal of sin and fear of punishment for sin, and wickedness and evil, followeth his further unfolding. Man becometh the image of the ideal he thinketh. Verily I say, man createth those unbalanced ideals by thinking alone, without me, for they are unbalanced things, and I am balance. Behold in me the still fulcrum of my changing universe. In me is neither good nor evil, fear nor anger, sympathy nor sorrow, sin nor virtue. In me is naught but the ecstasy of love, fulcrum of all thinking and all emotion. Naught else existeth. These words of my father-mother's knowing have I translated true, while in the light of all knowing, upon the mountain-top. And this ends the part of the Divine Illiad II, where he is receiving words from God. And the next part are 5 lectures, and these will be pretty much what God has just said, but paraphrased or by Walter Russell. And I will begin with the first of these lectures, which is all motion is a simultaneous extension from and to the one still light. The New World Thought. The dawn of cosmic consciousness. This new age is making the dawn of a new world thought. That new thought is a new cosmic concept of the value of man to man. The whole world is discovering that all mankind is one, and that the unity of man is real, not just an abstract ideal. Mankind is beginning to discover that the hurt of any man hurts every man, and conversely, the uplift of any man uplifts every man. The mutual interdependence of man and his import in this mass production machine age is being born into world consciousness by actual experience. It can no longer be an abstraction, theory, or useless affirmation. The spirit within man is beginning to recognize the spirit within all other men as one. This very recognition of the spiritual in man, sufficient to enforce its practice, is the evidence of the beginning of man's unfolding to his cosmic stage. When mankind has advanced to his cosmic stage of knowing the unity of man, and is practicing it, he is advancing farther away from the barbaric man. That fact is significant. The semi-chaos of this age is the maelstrom of man's transformation from material man to cosmic man. We can plainly see the growth of a unifying world consciousness, a very large world of unfriendly nations who are foreigners to each other must grow into a small world of friendly neighbors or perish. The day in world history is near when there will be no foreigners, and there will be but one tongue. The old world thought was centered by material self-welfare, personally, locally, and nationally. It was centered upon separateness instead of unity. Friendships, loyalties, and patriotism were limited to national boundaries. Beyond those lines dwelt the potential enemy whom we must fear and from whom we must adequately protect ourselves. Nationalism is merging into an internationalism, which will soon pass out of itself into the coming one-world nation. This is a step toward the fusing of individuality into universality. The old world thought assured a national freedom, peace, and happiness based upon powder kegs and atomic bombs, while tortured by fears, nourished by hatreds, and guaranteed by the power of might. A new world thought assures a fearless freedom, peace, and happiness nourished by love and guaranteed by the power of right. Let us consider how natural law is working to bring all this about. The Orient and the Occident, the two poles of world thought. The torch of eternal light forever shines. Unsuspected by civilization, however, that torch which illumines the world of man has been divided into two lights, not one, two lights which traveled east and west in a 6,000-year girding of the globe, splitting the world asunder into two oppositely thinking peoples of the East and of the West, the Orient and the Occident. Kipling declared that this twain would never meet, but that was long ago, long before man realized that two opposed poles of thought could become one electric thought current flowing through both, with the speed of light, to unite the two as one. The twain have met, but they are still two. The electric current of the new world thought will eventually unite them. Even as the individuality of a nation is the sum total of the thoughts of individual units, so is a whole civilization the sum total of the world's thoughts. In this radio age, thoughts are universal. They have no place, time, or position. 100 years ago, our thoughts traveled east and west with the speed of horses and ships, and our talk never traveled at all. Today, we talk to the antipodes and share its thoughts at our breakfast table. A 25,000-mile planet is inconceivably large when our thoughts must girdle it by horses and ships, but it shrinks to nothing at all when our thoughts girdle the globe 7 times in 1 second on shortwave paths of light, and the world is our neighbor to talk to at will. In the last century, thought has lost all boundaries. It has become a flow of light girdling the world with the speed of light in an electric stream of world thinking. It belts the world with world thoughts, as rings of light belt Saturn. It envelops the world in an electric prison, which sends our escaping thoughts back to us as the electric ceilings reflect radio beams, or as a mirror reflects light. National and individual thinking is no longer possible within this international electric thought griddle.